the need for everyone to have access to this tool is really essential.
You know, the mission you're talking about there sort of roughly matches the mission that a number of the libraries take towards small business development or giving people sort of resources for developing businesses, that sort of economic development mission. And that, I think, would probably strike people as strange in some respects, because they don't necessarily see, you know, libraries as sort of these sort of agents of economic development necessarily. But that's actually been a program through a number of the libraries for a number of years.
Absolutely. And in some ways, I would say that that has historically been a role that libraries have actually played. I mean, I have had the number of people who've come up to me telling me they started their business essentially at the library. I think we haven't talked about it very much, and I think you're right. But libraries play this amazing role in terms of the economic engine. And some sessions that we had recently with the James J. Hill Library about how to start your business, what are the resources, were there was huge attendance and huge interest. And it's an amazing resource for people.
And I guess you could also make the claim that it's also an entry point for people in terms of governance and government, to find out about how sort of civic structure works within the community as well.
And for many newcomers to our communities, their connection with the library is their first interaction with a civic institution outside of kind of the immigration apparatus. So that's a very good point, and I think just the engaging with the civic infrastructure is a role, as you point out, that libraries play for some newcomers.
Is it important for every neighborhood in St. Paul to have close physical access to a library as we're thinking about sort of delivery of services across the entire city? That's been sort of a point of contention specifically within the Hamlin neighborhood, as the discussions revolved around the Hamlin branch last year, and you know how to keep the operations alive, and then you end up with this sort of discussion of how close is my library. Is that going to be part of the community discussion in the months and years ahead?
Yeah, I think this is for sure a part of the discussion, and here's my observation, which is, as it has become possible for more and more people to access information globally from anywhere, it has not become less important for people to have libraries in their neighborhoods.
It's become more important.
People feel passionate about libraries in their neighborhoods. They feel this way everywhere in the country. And it is about way more than just access to information. It is about civic and neighborhood life. And ironically, I think, as we've all gotten connected to global information, the importance of place has in some ways grown. And we are more interested in our own places and how they are different from other places, how they are ours, what is our history around it, what does it say to us about who we are, what's our story in our neighborhood. And so, so that I think the question, do you have to have a library in your neighborhood in order to access information? No. Does that mean that it is less important to you to have a library in your neighborhood? Absolutely not.
Yeah, and then this sort of question of sort of like community investment comes into play in terms of the long-term health of an institution, making sure that you're matching up services with needs, which is sort of one of the key questions in government here in the 21st century.
Right, right. It's a big challenge. It's a very big challenge, and it raises all those questions about then what happens in that space. How does what happen in that space best promote, get us down the line in terms of our literacy goals and other kinds of goals? Tough questions. Do we need to really look at partnering a lot more around these civic spaces? These are all important questions that we'll be dealing with.
So in the first couple of months here, as you're kind of getting your feet wet, what are the things that are on your punch list? What are the things that you're doing here as you're getting to know the system better and getting to know people better?
You know, obviously the budget is coming up, so that's captured my attention in a lot of ways. That's something I've been working on. There's some really interesting opportunities coming down the pike here. The legacy amendment that was passed by the voters, there would be some money for libraries and promoting the arts, and be working on how that should happen in St. Paul and what the opportunities might be. There will be really some expansion of technology because of some work with the Gates Foundation, and sort of how best can we deploy that to meet some really, really serious needs that people in the community have. How best can we boost up the kind of offerings around technology literacy, digital literacy, to respond to where people are right now.
And all this has got to happen
pronto.
Pronto, lickety split as you make your way in. Well, you know, the one thing I will say is that even though St. Paul is very, very particular about its institutions, it's not quite Vermont. So welcome to St. Paul. We won't hold the whole Minneapolis thing against you here as you make your way.
And as a St. Paulite, all I can say is it just feels great to be working in my city.
Yep, I know exactly what you mean. Well, Kit Hadley, we've just about run out of time. I want to thank you so much for joining us here today and for giving people an opportunity to get to know you here as you begin your job working with the St. Paul Public Libraries.
Great, thank you so much.
Kit Hadley, the new director of the St. Paul Public Libraries. If you want more information about what is going on with the libraries, either in your neighborhood or across St. Paul, or other types of services that are available, go to their website, sppl.org, to get information about services that are available, ways that you could become involved in the libraries, or even check out a book. Believe it or not, people still do that, and it's a very, very worthwhile thing.
Exactly.
And for everyone here at St. Paul Forum, I'm Mike Wassenaar. Thanks for watching this edition of the St. Paul.